What's going on, everybody? So today's video, I'm going to be showing y'all how I wash and purge my crawfish before I get them ready for that boiling pot. So today, you see, we're going to be using the Cowboys Wild Game crawfish washer. Man, this thing it's a dream. It makes washing and cleaning, purging those crawfish. I mean, it's night and day difference between filling up a cooler or a bucket and dumping the water out, refilling it, shaking the crawfish around, making sure they're getting clean. This thing is super easy to use, and I recommend it to any and everybody. So we'll go ahead and get the crawfish washer hooked up with the hose, and all the connectors and that type of stuff, like the little gold, I guess spouts you see there at the bottom of the washer. All that stuff comes with it, and there's actually a black, I guess, uh, thing in the middle of the washer that the water's going to be coming out of. You'll see that in a minute. But yeah, we'll go ahead and get it filled up with water. All right. I love a good time lapse. All right, so we'll go ahead and get the crawfish ready to go inside the washer. Once you see the water break over the edge of that washer, that's when you know it's time to add the crawfish in. The water is moving around, flowing around. I'm sure you can see that water moving in the washer. And we'll take that plug off the bottom here in a minute to get the dirty water out the bottom, and the grass comes off the top. This thing can wash a sack of crawfish easy. I would say a sack, maybe two max. But yeah, it could wash a sack no problem. So you see a couple of them got free there, but they all gonna get clean today. And the way that water's moving on the inside, you probably can't see it too well right now, but it's literally like a washing machine. I mean, the water is going around in a circle, and as the water clears up in this video, in the time lapse, you'll see that it actually gets clear. So just note that now you really can't see through the water. Everything looks dark and murky and muddy. And of course, well, I don't wish you could smell it, because you know anybody who washes crawfish knows that they stink. I'm gonna take out any dead ones that we see, and let Zoe do her thing as she walks across there, and yeah, we'll get it going. So as this thing gets started, once I first put in the crawfish, one thing that I like to do is one, I like to let the water run for a little bit, and I use this old slotted spoon. I know you guys have seen them before. Used to use it to serve the crawfish, but not really. I mean, it's flimsy, so now I just use it to kind of stir them up a little bit as I first get started. You see a couple of monsters in there, um, and get some of that grass off the top of the washer, just to help it out a little bit. You really don't have to do this, just something that I do because I like to, play with my food a little bit. But you take that plug off the bottom, let the dirty water flow out the bottom, and get the grass and stuff to flow off the top. And yeah, we just let it run. I would say I think this ran for about maybe 15 or 20 minutes, I believe, at least for the video. But as far as purging goes, I mean, you can let it run for as long as you want. I like to do no less than say 4 hours. Just let them run in that water. I know a lot of folks that like to use salt and stuff like that, but just a lot of the videos and research that I've done, I've learned that it really doesn't serve any purpose. There's really no need for it. And plus, in this tap water that comes out of the faucet, at least on the side of the house here, out of that spigot, I mean, there's plenty of chemicals and other stuff in there. I would say that gets those crawfish to purge and clean themselves inside and out. and as that water pushes them around, like I said, you'll see it here in the video, as that water pushes them around, I mean, you'll see that all the dirt and all the grass and stuff gets knocked off of them, and it really starts to clear up. I mean, even now at this point in the video, you can see that the water's a lot clearer than what it was before. It was nothing but mud and dirt, but now it's a lot cleaner. And you'll see that the crawfish look like they're dancing around in there. They're trying to get situated. They're trying to move around, or at least be still. But that water coming out of that jet on the inside is actually blowing them around in there. Like I said, it's literally like a washing machine. It's literally cleaning the crawfish inside and out, pushing them around to where there's constant motion. And yeah, I mean, like I said, it makes this process much easier, and I recommend it to everybody I know that eats and cleans crawfish. This is a must-have. I picked this thing up from Academy Sports for 60 or 70 bucks, I believe. Um, it may be a little bit more than that, maybe like 80 bucks now. But at that time, I got it on like a little bit of a special. I was making some returns, and the manager gave me a good deal. Anyway, I think I got it for about 60 bucks or 70 bucks at the time. And yeah, uh, as this thing cleans these crawfish, man, you'll see me come back every now and again, maybe stir them up or check the water clarity. I have this little mason jar that I use to check the water. And pretty much what I'm looking for is for the water to be crystal clear. Once it gets clean enough to where I can scoop some up and it looks like I just may want to just take a sip of that water, I know they're clean enough for me to put in the pot and serve to my friends and family. I wouldn't feel bad about that at all. So like now at this point, if you look down inside of that washer, I mean, you can see pretty much clearly through to the crawfish. You can see the red on the claws, the red on the shells. I mean, you can, I mean, it's night and day difference from beginning to now. Um, so yeah, we'll just keep it going. And you see them getting tossed around in there. You see the crawfish moving. All that grass and stuff is floating off the top. Some of the grass may or may not come off. So that's when I come out every now and again and stir them up or use that little slotted spoon to scoop some of that grass off the top and throw it out to the side. But yeah, I mean, it's actually something just cool to watch. If you're inside, you can prep your food and stuff for the boil. That's what I do when I'm purging crawfish at this point. While this thing is flowing, I'm inside. I'm cutting up my onions and my celery, and my garlic, getting all that stuff ready, getting my seasonings together. You know what I mean? Just getting everything, I guess, situated in a bowl or on the table or whatever, kind of next to that pot. Getting the boiling pot full of water and adding in, just the other stuff that goes in there, whatever seasonings you like to use, or whatever I guess sauces or juices you like to use. You can get all that ready. And then once that gets ready, I mean, like I said, I like to do this for about 4 hours minimum. I've heard that a true purge isn't less than 24 hours, but of course, I mean, I didn't have that kind of time in this video, but by all means, if you want to purge it for 24 hours, go ahead. But I do 4 hours minimum. So that was my first little check with my mason jar. Water wasn't quite clear the way I wanted it to be. Um, so yeah, I just let them run it for a little bit longer. But yeah, it's a great item. I recommend it to everybody. If you don't have one, I think you should try and go get one as soon as possible. Um, because during the middle of crawfish season, when I tried to get mine, it was very hard to find. But I found one, and with it being the last one, like I said before, the box was kind of beat up, and uh, um, the manager gave me a deal on it. So, um, but yeah, this thing is awesome. There was one time I was cleaning a sack of crawfish, Easter weekend, matter of fact, and you wouldn't believe some of the stuff that you see in these sacks. I'm sure anybody who eats crawfish knows the kind of stuff that you will find in there. But the craziest thing that I've come across so far is not those little bitty snails and stuff, not the little bitty bait fish and all this type stuff. It was actually like a big hunk of bait fish, I guess from one of the traps that was in there. It looked like maybe like a half a brim or like the tail end and half of the spine from a big shad or a brim, a bluegill or something. I don't know what it was, but it was a hunk of fish. Looked like they'd been eating on it for a little bit inside the sack. And I was like, man, that could have been, two or three, fat crawfish inside the sack. But that I got charged for the pounds, but hey, it's no big deal. We still had a good time and ate good too. But yeah, so at this point, like I said, the crawfish, they're nice and clean. They look well. They're moving around. No dead ones. There were I think maybe one or two dead ones in the sack, which is actually pretty good. I haven't gotten a sack where there was no dead ones. The best sack I've had was like a 35-pound sack, and there was only one dead crawfish in the whole sack. This one here was about 30, and there was only two dead ones. So we got those out of there. Of course, you don't want to eat no dead crawfish. You'll get sick if you eat that. At least that's what they say. I've never eaten one, so I wouldn't know. But but yeah, the crawfish they're moving around. They're getting blown around by that water constantly throughout the whole process. If you got friends, you can stand around, drink a beer or whatever, and just watch them swim around and watch the water get clear, and uh, get the crawfish ready to be boiled. Um, and plus, those same friends that are there, you'll get a chance to see who your real friends are because the ones that are there at the very beginning, they'll help you set up, they'll help you cook if needed, lift and lower the crawfish in and out of the pot, whatever you may need them to do. They'll eat good and then they'll stick around and help you clean up too. Those are your real friends. Most folks, they'll eat and run, but your real friends, they'll help you prep if you need it. They'll help you cook a little bit. They'll eat good and they'll help you clean up. So just be mindful of that. And just a second ago, you saw I did a quick little check again with the mason jar. The crawfish weren't as clean as I want them to be, so they just keep running. And again, this is maybe like a 15-20 minute lapse, time lapse, uh, at the time that I was recording this. But as far as a purge goes, I like to do no less than 4 hours. So this is the very end. These things are ready to go. You look at that water, crystal clear. I mean, man, I would probably take a sip of that. I'm not gonna lie. I would probably drink that. If I could drink it, I wouldn't mind eating those crawfish. So now they're ready to go in the pot. Like I said, I like to play with my food, y'all. So don't mind me. But yeah, that's cleaning crawfish. Hope you guys enjoyed it.